Welcome to week 3 of customer experience. And here is a claim I'll stand behind. More service failures are caused by bad listening than by bad products. The product team gets the budget, but the listening problem loses the customer. This week pairs the skill of listening with the science of reading customer behavior, and together they form a really good diagnostic core for your final project. In your reading in chapter 5, you're going to see that listening is broken down into 4 steps: hearing and receiving the message, attending or focusing, comprehending or assigning meaning, and then responding. Why does this matter? Because failures happen at specific steps, and the fix depends on which one that error happened at. So an employee who heard you but was multitasking failed at the attending part of listening. One who paid full attention but misread your request failed at comprehending. One who understood perfectly and then did nothing failed at responding. So when a customer says nobody listened to me, a customer experience professional is going to ask at what step. That precision is in turn what can turn that complaint into a diagnosis, and the diagnosis then can be fixed. In this chapter, it talks a lot about the reasons why there can be a breakdown in listening. And of course, we understand we're all people and things are happening. So sometimes there can be personal obstacles. There can be a preoccupation with something else going on, or an uncomfortable one, which is you could have some biases against the person you're speaking to. Assumptions about their age or appearance or expertise, and quietly those will filter what you hear. If you've ever been talked down to at a certain place, maybe when you were buying a car or at a tech counter, you'll know that you have experienced that bias and a listening barrier firsthand. Someone assumed something about you and then spoke to you in that way. And here's a bigger pattern I really want you to see. A lot of listening failures are really system failures wearing that name tag, because an employee on a strict call timer is being paid not to listen. A script that has to be completed is a preoccupation by design. So companies now also listen with software. So AI sentiment analysis scanning thousands and thousands of reviews and calls. And listen, that can be useful at scale, but a company that listens with software and not with people has automated that first step of listening, and they've skipped the other 3. So keep that distinction when we are thinking about week 6. In chapter 6, they introduce a model of 4 behavioral styles that customers can bring into service interactions. They call it the RIDE model. So there's R for rational. This would be steady and observant, listening more than talking. I is for inquisitive, so detailed, focused. They want data. They keep it professional. D is decisive, moving fast, want a bottom line. They don't like to waste time. And E is expressive, people-oriented, energetic, relationship-driven. Now, no one is purely just one of these styles. We're all blends of these, but the styles can explain why the same service can feel different to different people. A really talkative, relationship building employee might delight an expressive customer, right? But it will drive a decisive customer up the wall. Just the facts interaction satisfies that inquisitive, but it can feel really cold to someone who lands more expressive. And there's no single right way to serve, so there's this matching. In serving someone whose style differs from your own, it's a skill, not necessarily something you know automatically by instinct. The textbook's John Deere story makes this a deeper point. The company built a century of loyalty, starting with how it treated struggling farmers in the Great Depression. They actually listened to what those customers needed, which was credit and flexibility, and they acted on it. So listening plus behavioral insight really compounded over decades. Now, all of these concepts that you've been learning, put this into your project. Your assignment this week steps back from your personal bad experience to analyze that brand's customers as a group. Who are they? What do they need emotionally, not just functionally? And which ride style shows up most at their customer service counter or in their support queue? And given those styles, where is the company structurally most likely to fail at listening? And then place yourself. Was your bad experience the typical customer's experience, or were you on an edge case? Like, both answers can be useful, but they lead to different redesigns. And your final pitch really needs to know which one you are arguing happened.